Did you know that when you buy souvenirs and gifts in Ireland, you can get a little bit of that money back? Today, I'm sharing with you a little bit about the Irish VAT, or the value added tax, and what you need to do to leave Ireland with a little bit of a refund. Thank you so much for joining me again here on the Traveling in Ireland podcast. This episode is part of my Planning Your Ireland Vacation series, a step-by-step guide that walks you through the entire planning process, answers common questions, and helps you move forward with clarity. If you'd like to follow the series in order, you'll find it at irelandfamilyvacations.com/planning. During your Ireland vacation, you'll have dozens of opportunities to purchase Irish souvenirs and gifts. My advice? Buy items that will keep memories of your trip fresh for years to come. And the added bonus when purchasing Irish souvenirs is the value-added tax refund as you leave the country. Before we dive into the VAT, though, I want to give you just a few Ireland souvenir buying tips. The first being, if you love it, buy it, because you may not find it again. This is especially true for handcrafted and artisan items. There was one year that I found a sweater. It was an Aran sweater. It was kind of a wrap, and I found it at probably one of the first stops of the tour. So I didn't buy it. I was like, oh, I'll see this again. I'll be able to pick it up. And the rest of the time I was in Ireland, I never saw that sweater again. So when I got home, I had to email the store, describe the sweater, see if they had it, and then have them ship it to me. So again, if you love it, buy it. A few more handy tips. If you are enjoying a busker and they have a CD available, go ahead and buy it, or toss in a tip and ask them if you can find them on Spotify. When you're buying Irish whiskey, unless the item is exclusive to the distillery or is one of those, experiential things like filling your own whiskey bottle, go ahead and purchase it at duty free. You're usually going to get a better price, the purchase is already tax-free, and you won't have to pack it in your carry-on bag. You also want to buy those trinkets that you're going to take home at duty-free in the airport as well. So these are the inexpensive items that you see in every gift shop, usually things for kids or keychains, stuff like that. Just grab those at the airport. Chocolates travel really, really well, and duty-free at Shannon and Dublin both have really great chocolate sections. So, yum. But if you find a chocolate shop that you absolutely love, go ahead and purchase those chocolates, but I would maybe recommend buying two. One that's going to make it home and one that might not make it home. Some items can and should be shipped. So pottery, crystal, glassware, anything breakable. You can purchase these and have them shipped from the place where you buy them. The VAT will be removed at point of sale, and you won't even have to worry about it when you are leaving, when you're leaving at the airport. Now that you have those souvenir buying tips, let's get back into the VAT. The VAT is the value added tax. And if you're from the United States, the easiest comparison is sales tax, with one important difference. In Ireland, the VAT is already included in the price you see. It's not added at checkout, so the price that's on the tag is the price you pay. The VAT ranges from 9 to 25% and applies to most goods and services. There are a few notable exceptions, including food, children's clothing, medical services, and purchases from nonprofit organizations, so those won't carry a VAT. And if you live outside the European Union, you may qualify for a VAT refund on eligible purchases. To qualify for the refund, you have to spend at least €75 per receipt. So this is not a total over the time you are in Ireland. This is per purchase at one time. You need to request the VAT paperwork at the time of purchase and submit your forms before leaving Ireland. And one more important detail. All the goods must leave Ireland within 3 months. So this is the length of a tourist visa. If they don't leave Ireland within 3 months, then you do not get the VAT back. While the VAT is added to most goods purchased in Ireland, you're not going to receive a refund on every item you buy. Hotel stays, car rentals, and restaurant meals are a few of the purchases you will make that do not offer a VAT refund. Most stores are going to recognize that you're a tourist, but it's always helpful to request your VAT upon checkout. Ireland VAT has 3 refund systems, and the first 2 that I'm going to share with you are the ones I encounter most often. Most shops in Ireland that offer VAT refunds use the Planet system to process them. If the store participates, the process is simple. At checkout, you're going to receive that VAT refund paperwork, and the clerk will prepare the form that shows what you purchased, the amount of the VAT paid, and the store's details. You're then going to add your passport information and sign the form. Now, this doesn't, you're not going to fill out the form right then and there. You are going to fill that out probably in your hotel room. Go ahead and keep that paperwork safe because you're going to need it at the airport. Before leaving Ireland, you have to validate that refund. So this is what's done at the airport. And it when I say validate, it doesn't always mean that somebody's going to look at your receipts and validate them right there. You may be dropping that off in a kiosk or a drop box. Sometimes there'll be a staff counter. But after you drop them off, then your refund will be checked and processed and credited back to your credit card minus the processing fees. A few important things to remember. Again, your purchase must total at least €75 per receipt. You need to get that paperwork at the time of purchase. You may be asked to present your purchases during the validation process. I never have, to be honest. I've never had anybody ask me for anything at VAT or at customs, but just keep it in mind, especially for higher priced items. And do allow yourself a little bit of extra time at the airport to complete this process. It usually doesn't take long, but if it is a staffed counter, there could be a line. So that's it. There's no special cards, no advanced registration. Just ask at the till and keep your forms organized. Another processor that is used in Ireland is Global Blue. It's less common, and the only time I really encounter it is in larger retail stores. The process is similar to the Planet process. You're going to get that VAT paperwork that shows what you purchased, the amount of VAT paid in the store's information. You will fill it out and add your passport details and turn it in at the airport. Now, Global Blue does offer a mobile app that lets you track the refunds and view participating retailers if you want to do that. And finally, you have in-store VAT refunds. So some retailers, these are usually larger shops, may offer an in-store refund option. In this case, the VAT is removed or processed at the time of purchase rather than being handled at the airport. Now, each store that does this can handle it a little bit differently. If you're paying by credit card, the VAT may be refunded directly back to that card after the transaction is processed, or they may remove it before you pay. And if you're paying cash, you might receive cash back after paying the full amount, or they remove it before you pay, and you don't have to worry about it. There are no receipts with this. You don't require airport validation. It is really, really smooth, but you're not going to run into it that often. When you are getting to the airport, so Shannon Airport and Dublin Airport, you can process your VAT. You're going to find the VAT locations just past security before the customs office at Dublin and Shannon. So be sure to, again, figure in time at the airport to visit the VAT desks and go ahead and fill those forms out before you get to the airport. There's nothing worse than having to dig out your passport and all your things because you forgot to fill out the forms and you're standing in a busy airport doing it. Just fill out your forms and have all that paperwork ready before you get to the airport. Now, if you are not flying home from Ireland, maybe you are going into Scotland or another country, you can still apply for your VAT refund. And I have a handy link in the show notes that can help you navigate that. I do want to mention Northern Ireland. Even though it's part of Ireland, it is a separate country, and purchases made in Northern Ireland follow the UK tax rules. The UK ended its VAT retail export scheme on January 1st, 2021, which means that VAT refunds are not available for goods carried home in your luggage. So in-store purchases there are just not eligible for the VAT refund. Now, one final money-saving tip for you. Avoid dynamic currency conversion. When you're using a credit or debit card in Ireland, you are going to be offered the option to pay in euros or pounds, or to pay in your home currency. Always choose to pay in the local currency. So, euros if you're in the Republic, pounds if you're in Northern Ireland. The reason for this is that it's just a worse exchange rate. Basically, what it does is if you are paying in, let's say you decide you're going to pay in US dollars. So you're billed in euros, it's converted to US dollars, and then it's converted again. There's too many conversions going on. There's a fee with every conversion. And you're just going to get a better exchange rate by paying in the local currency. So even if the screen tries to make your home currency option look convenient, pay in the local currency. Let your credit or debit card handle any currency conversions. I hope that this gave you a little bit of insight into the VAT and how to get a little bit of money back. I know it sounds really confusing, but I promise you, once you're in Ireland, it's going to be very, very simple. It really just is getting those receipts and making sure they're filled out and turning them in at the airport. So I promise it is not as difficult as maybe it sounds. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a 5-star review at Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. If you can't leave a review on your podcast app, you can visit Trustpilot at IrelandFamilyVacations.com/trust. Just say a few nice words. I would really appreciate it. If you have questions or comments on this episode, you can email me, Jody, Jody, at IrelandFamilyVacations.com. As always, thank you so much for listening, and until next time, slán go fóill.